Live from Philadelphia, this is Fox 29 Morning News.
Police may be close to identifying the body of a person found in Kensington. What hair discovered at the scene is uncovering this morning.
Plus, surveillance video captures the terrifying moment outside a local rec center, what police say the perps were after, and why parents should be really concerned.
And can you believe it? Not a single person won. Now $675 million is up for grabs. We're going to tell you when you better get your next ticket so you can hit the jackpot.
Good day, everyone. It is Thursday, January 7th, 2016. It's really cold outside. We want to remind you to download the Fox 29 News app. So you're going to get alerts on your phone when you have this app. It's going to tell you what you need to know. Just search for it in the Apple and Google Play stores. It gets important when the temperatures dip way below the freezing point.
It's so cold outside. It's cold in here. I just made my Keurig tea over there. So this is going to keep me warm.
Now, Sue, I went in on, for all of us, I paid for all of us for last night's drawing.
Too
the
bad it
$10,
was
so
for
I'm
naught.
in officially. Here's the thing, though, as we said earlier, of all 25 numbers from these 5 tickets, not one of them was one of the winning numbers.
Isn't that amazing how you can buy 10 tickets and not match one number?
Go get coffee.
A lot of possible combinations, obviously, since nobody won. And we'll be going through all this again over the weekend. But first, we got to get you through today. We're going to go with an 8 out of 10. Even though it's going to be kind of cloudy out there, it'll be a little bit milder. Now, it's temperatures in the teens to the north of us where skies are clear. Where skies are kind of cloudy, we've got 31 degrees, 33 Dover, 30 in Wildwood, 30 Atlantic City. That's still cold, but certainly not as cold as it was 2 days ago, and 10 degrees milder than it was 24 hours ago. It's even milder to the south of us. So we're getting some milder air, but we also have quite a bit of cloud cover anywhere from, say, central Montgomery County south. And you see just a little bit of color on radar here, but we're not getting reports of precipitation. It seems to be just a reflection of the cloud cover out there. So we're off to a chilly start. Mostly cloudy skies, maybe a couple peaks of sunshine, a bit milder with a high of 42 degrees. Now our sunset time these days is around 5 of 5. But you notice that it's staying light a little bit longer. And we do have that situation as my necklace gets messed up here. Well, I'll continue to adjust here until you get ready.
You adjust. You know, all the complaining about the Keurig, I just had to show him how to use the darn thing. He's in the back. I don't know how to use this.
I knew it.
I don't know what he was putting in the holder there.
For the K-Cup?
Yeah.
It's brewing, guys.
Hey, I hear him.
Oh, yeah.
Hear it? It's brewing.
Isn't this exciting, folks?
Chris learns how to use the Keurig.
This is a Wawa regular.
Oh, gosh. Good morning, everybody. Hey, it's Thursday, 5:02. Getting up and getting out. The 42 freeway. The headlights working their way in toward Philly. Kind of light volume at the moment. If you are using mass transit, keep in mind, bundle up because, again, we got the night out bus service running for another 5-10 minutes or so on the Market Frankfurt and the Broad Street subways. We've had some minor scattered delays during the rush hours across the board on mass transit because of the cold temps today. The Blue Route 476 looking good. Good morning to Villanova. No problems if you're heading down to Philly International. No problems on the Schuylkill Expressway. Good news is that they just reopened the Vine Expressway. That was closed until 5 o'clock downtown. So things are starting to unfold here, and we get ready for a morning rush. In Norristown, a water main break at Powell and Fredley. So just watch for some local detours. And all the bridges at the moment looking good and no problems at the airport. Kristen Lauren, back over to you.
Right now, police are one step closer to identifying the body of a person found near a vacant lot in Kensington. They say based on hairs found on the remains, they've determined it was a Hispanic man. Sky Fox was over the scene yesterday morning as investigators combed the area along the 400 block of East Cambria Street. A Radnor man arrested for child abuse is expected in court this morning.
So here's one of the worst parts. Authorities say he's worked closely with kids for years. Dave Kitchen now live outside the courthouse in Newtown Square. Dave, he's expected there in just a few hours, right?
That's right. We're told about 8:30 is when he's expected to face a preliminary hearing and deal with these charges of allegedly sexually molesting a 13-year-old family member. Here's what we know from investigators. The latest: Charles Robinson of Paoli is accused of sexually molesting this family member. Cops are not releasing the gender of the victim. Police tell us the abuse started in 2010 and lasted 4 agonizing years. Investigators say the abuse happened at the Robinson's house on Chamonix Road in Radnor Township. They do not currently live there. They have since moved. The victim finally went to Chester County Youth Services, which in turn contacted Radnor Township Police immediately around December 23rd. Robinson, who was involved in adoption support services at a nearby church, was arrested on New Year's Eve, which was his 60th birthday.
Mr. Robinson would start out by grooming the victim by first starting out by giving the person massages. And from there, the behavior would progress to the point where he would go into the family member's bedroom at night, perform different sex acts, would remove the victim's cell phone so the victim was not able to make contact with anybody else. It got progressively worse to the point where the defendant, Mr. Robinson, tried to get into the shower with the victim, tried to get in bed with the victim, and it progressed to the point where it was basically hellacious and unbearable for our victim.
Meanwhile, police worry there could be more victims out there because they say the suspect worked closely with children for several years and was affiliated with the Boy Scouts of America. Also, police say he was a basketball coach. Police are asking the public for help in locating more possible victims out there. Again, he was held on $1 million bail. It was posted by a family member, and he's expected for a prelim later this morning, guys.
Okay, we'll check back and keep an eye on that. Dave Kinchin, thank you for that live report. Meantime, Congress has sent legislation to President Barack Obama's desk repealing his signature health care law. There have been dozens of previous repeal attempts in the House and the Senate. Last night's vote in the House marks the first time such a bill will actually make it all the way to the White House. President Obama will veto that bill, but Republicans say that by holding the vote, they have fulfilled a promise to voters in an election year. Bill Cosby could also lose his Medal of Freedom. The award is the country's highest civilian honor given to him by President George W. Bush in 2002. Today, an Arizona congressman and the organization promoting awareness victim empowerment will announce a bill that would give President Obama the authority to revoke the medal. Bill Cosby's next court appearance, by the way, on a sexual assault charge has been postponed. A court spokesman says his preliminary hearing, originally on January 14th, has been rescheduled. Cosby's lawyers want more time to prepare. The comedian is free on $1 million bail and is charged with drugging and sexually assaulting a woman in 2004. There have also been dozens of civil suits brought against Cosby. Lauren?
A scary scene caught on video outside of West Philadelphia Rec Center. 2 teenagers robbed at gunpoint by other teenagers, and police say this was all over a hoverboard. They say it's not the first, and it probably won't be the last time. Robberies, even violent robberies, are on the rise for hoverboards. A 16-year-old girl was shot in Atlanta. Another 9-year-old boy was robbed at gunpoint while riding a hoverboard. Police say, like iPhones a few years ago, thieves will do whatever it takes to get their hands on the latest fad.
We're fortunate in this case that the rec centers have been equipped with some very good surveillance now. And the individuals are caught on that surveillance tape actually committing the robbery, and we're just asking the public's help to identify these individuals, because kids should be able to freely play in these rec centers without any fear of individuals taking things from them, especially in this situation where they're using guns in rec centers. The rec centers should be a place where people have fun and can feel safe.
Well, police urge anyone with a hoverboard to be aware of their surroundings before they head outside to use it.
So, police tell us they've ID'd 2 of the 3 teens caught on camera ransacking a local business. So we first showed you this video earlier this week from inside the building of Philadelphia's Logan neighborhood. The teens punched and kicked holes. They spray painted equipment and left behind more than $5,000 in damage. Now police say one of them surrendered and another walked with him to his mom to talk to police. Officers are still trying to ID that 3rd teen. All right, a couple who received an outpouring of support after a police officer found their toddler alone in Love Park could soon be homeless again.
Mike Jones and Angelique Rowland were sleeping in the park with their 2 small children last fall. Their 2-year-old son woke up, wandered away in the middle of the night. A SEPTA officer found him. After the story broke, donations poured in. Chosen 300 Ministries raised $12,000 in just a matter of hours to help that family. Well, now the group is asking the parents to leave the apartment it had rented for them.
We had to make a very hard decision that we had to back away. They, one, rejected services and the counseling that we provided, but also for the safety of our staff and just the well-being of the organization, we had to make a decision to really just turn this case over to the hands of DHS.
Wow, the children are still in the custody of DHS. Chosen 300 Ministry says the remainder of the donations will go into an education fund for those children. Okay, you've heard this by now. No one had the winning numbers for last night's Powerball drawing, which means
we're going to keep working.
Yeah, it's not all bad. It's not all bad though, because you have a chance to get yourself another ticket for an increased earnings.
So the $10 on these 5 tickets rolls over to Saturday night's drawing. Okay?
Your money doesn't roll over, but
so Saturday, this is going to be historic. $675 million is now the jackpot, which is up for grabs. It is the highest in U.S. history. 2013, $590 million was the biggest jackpot.
In Florida, right?
In Florida. We talked about that yesterday. Now, this one's even bigger. Powerball's website says the estimated cash value of that payout, $300 million. That's before taxes. Still, that's a whole ton of money. It shatters 2012's record, which we talked about. So, in the last 13 years, 16 Powerball winners have come from Pennsylvania. That's more than any other state. So the numbers in last night's Powerball. You ready? Here they are.
Okay.
2, 11, 47, 62, 63, 17. Do you want to hear those again?
Why do you have to read them so fast if people are just waking up at home?
Right, all right. 2, 11, 47, 62, 63, 17. Look at that, 2 numbers in a row, 62 and 63. What are the odds of that?
Who knows? The odds are against us right now because we're up and at work.
$675 million, all right? So today's Thursday, Saturday's drawing, and they'll cut off the ticket sales to about an hour before they do the drawing. How much will it grow to? Is that the estimated amount on Saturday, $675 million? Wow.
I have one question. You bought in yesterday only because we promised you that you could use the Keurig.
Yes.
Are you going to buy in Saturday? There's no promise for you, but are you going to buy
This was the first lottery ticket I've ever purchased, Powerball or anything else.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I have to, though, right? Even though
yesterday
I
was like a big
money
day
away.
for you. You pulled out your wallet, spent money on camera, bought a lottery ticket. New year, new you. Hey, The Force Awakens has just become the #1 North American movie of all time.
According to Disney, J.J. Abrams' Star Wars earned enough as of last night to pass Aviators.
Or Avatar.
What did I say? Remember The Aviator? Well, that was a Leonardo DiCaprio film, right? Wasn't that the one? It was Avatar. 760 million lifetime gross. The worldwide record still belongs to Avatar. And that may continue. The Force Awakens has earned $1.6 million. All
right, for the first time, the National Center for Health Statistics is assessing adults' sleep habits. The group, researchers say, is the least likely getting rest.
Avatar.
Sounds like you.
Not The Aviator. Avatar.
So, yeah, it's winter and it feels like it. And we are looking on ultimate Doppler radar at a very weak disturbance to our south, but it is spreading clouds to the north. So because of the cloud cover, many of us did not get as cold as others because of radiational cooling. Now, radiational cooling is when there's no cloud cover like there is up in Allentown and temperatures are allowed to drop a lot lower. The clouds sort of act like a blanket to hold in some of the warmth of the day. We got to 40 degrees yesterday. Now, as we look at the futurecast, we're jumping ahead to Friday to talk about the weekend and the chance of rain. And we watch the clouds mix with sunshine throughout most of the day on Friday. Then it's a Friday night into early Saturday morning that our first round of rain rolls in. And we will have to watch up in the higher elevations for some frozen precipitation, maybe a wintry mix, but not for long because warmer air will move in. Now, from this computer model, it doesn't look like much rain at all on Saturday, but on Sunday, it looks like a whole lot of rain is moving in, and this is about as far as the model goes early Sunday morning. So we can expect maybe an inch or maybe 2 inches of rain on Sunday. So Saturday, the less rainy day. 31 degrees in Philadelphia. You saw us in the teens to the north of us, 30 in Wildwood, 33 in Dover. And because of these calm winds, we really don't need to talk about wind chill too much today. It's not the same as it was on Tuesday morning. We got to 40 degrees yesterday. Today we expect 42. Tomorrow it's a little bit milder. Then we're in the 50s both days of the weekend. And there could be a shower or two on Saturday, but it does look like Sunday is the rainier of the 2 days. And then the roller coaster ride continues with a blast of cold air rolling in on Monday and staying with us through the middle of next week. Bob Kelly?
Yeah, good morning. You know, we talked about it earlier. 20 years ago today, the blizzard of 1996. Even if you did shovel your car out, you couldn't go anywhere. The city was just in a lockdown mode. This is a picture from Center City back in the day where cars just were left abandoned from the overnight when we received 30.7 inches of snow. So I know it's cold, but it could be worse. Flashing back there 20 years, and we're sharing some pictures on both Facebook and Twitter this morning. No problems coming in on the 42 freeway. We're looking good as you work your way in toward Belmar, New Jersey. The night out bus service, they parked the buses and the trains are rolling, so we're good to go on both the Market Frankford, the subway, and the regional rail lines. But pack your gloves and your hat and just be ready. Last couple of days with the cold weather, all the trains, all the buses have had some minor delays because of the cold weather this morning, so be ready for that. But no problems coming in from Collegeville, looking good on the Schuylkill Expressway. And we just have that water main break out in Norristown at Powell and Fredley. Chris and Lauren, back over to you.
Okay, Bob, the White House says it does not believe North Korea's claims of having conducted a successful hydrogen bomb test.
White House spokesman Josh Earnest also says nothing has happened to change the U.S. government's assessment of the country's technical or military capabilities. Pyongyang's announcement of a successful hydrogen bomb test would mark a major and unanticipated advance for its still limited nuclear arsenal.
A community in Oregon sending a message to armed protesters occupying a wildlife reserve. They're saying, go home. They met last night to address what to do about the 20 gunmen, most from outside the county and state. The protest started peacefully Saturday morning, but quickly escalated with the gunmen taking over. They're demanding 2 men in custody for setting fire to federal grazing land be released.
There is a time to go home. We recognize that. We don't feel it's quite time yet. We feel like we need to make sure that the Hammonds are out of prison.
A Native American tribe in Oregon says the militia group is occupying their ancestral lands and is asking them to leave as well.
The state of California issued more than 500,000 driver's licenses to immigrants under the new law called AB 60. People who can't prove they're in the country legally are able to get driver's licenses using identification from their home countries. They must prove to be California residents and pass driving tests. The DMV says there were 830,000 applicants. Brian Encina, the Texas state trooper who pulled over and arrested Sandra Bland last summer, has now been fired. This after being charged with perjury. He's the trooper who pulled over Bland for failing to use a turn signal. Bland was arrested and died 3 days later in jail. Authorities ruled her death a suicide. A grand jury found the trooper made a false statement about the stop in an arrest report.
Grocery store chain Wegmans is recalling nearly 1,000 pounds of chicken. It says the chicken hit store shelves without federal inspection. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says it could make you sick, so take it back for a full refund. Here's the list, including Wegmans Italian flavored chicken breast cutlet with a use-by date of 1/24/2016. You can see the rest of them listed there. To check it out again, head over to our website, fox29.com. Look under the Scene on TV tab. Chipotle restaurant served a federal grand jury subpoena. It's part of a criminal investigation into a norovirus outbreak last summer. The company has to turn over several documents tied to a restaurant in Simi Valley, California. Chipotle says there was, quote, an isolated incident there in August. The company's sales have been rocked by E. coli outbreaks tied to several Chipotle restaurants last fall. Panera says soup's on. The next time you order soup at the restaurant chain, it may look a little different. The reason? Panera has removed artificial colors, flavors, sweeteners, and preservatives from all of its soups. As for the packaged soups you can buy at grocery stores, those will be free of additives by the end of this year. It's all part of Panera's push for clean foods on the menu, Chris.
That's good. Hey, 5:20 the time. Traveling soon. Before you book that flight, you might want to see what the airline's safety ranking is. AirlineRatings.com just released their list of the safest and most dangerous airlines. They took a look now at 407 airlines to find the safest in the world. I didn't know there are more than 400 air carriers. So 407 airlines. Australia's Qantas was number one on the list for the third straight year when it comes to American carriers. Alaska Airlines, Hawaiian Airlines, United, and American were all in the top 20. I think back to the movie Rain Man with Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise, and he was always talking about Qantas, safest airline, Qantas, want to fly Qantas. And there it is, third year in a row.
And isn't American based here?
Well, there was a merger with U.S. Air, which was based here, so I guess kind of. But I always thought American was based in Dallas.
I never know. Maybe it is.
All these mergers now, it's hard to keep it straight, right?
I know. It's tough. Here's something you should think about. Your six-pack abs could actually benefit if you share a six-pack with your friends. We're not talking beer here, but why alcohol could be a brilliant motivator to keep you working out. So six-pack of beer, six-pack of abs.
You just don't want a beer gut, right? That's the motivation. And the National Center for Health is researching adult sleeping habits. For the first time, the group who can actually complain about being tired. Oh, you know you and I are in that group.
Yeah, we are.
Keurig, please.
I need you right now. Let's get lost tonight. You could be my black Kate Moss tonight. Play secretary on the boss tonight.
So a new study out of the University of Texas reveals that a lot of sugar in your diet can increase the risk of cancer. So groups of mice were given a sugar diet and then a non-sugar diet. The results showed the mice on sugar had an increase in tumors and lung cancer. Those on a non-sugar diet had almost half the amount of tumors. Researchers say that more sugar increases inflammation. That inflammation leads to cancer.
See, and I just asked you for honey for my tea instead of
sugar. But I don't know about this study, whether it's refined sugar or what kinds of sugar, because you know, there are all kinds of different
and it's
sugars.
going to change every 5 days,
Yeah.
right? A new study says,
Exactly.
oh, and another study. And speaking of another study, here's one that shows single parents, especially moms, get less sleep than adults in two-parent households and homes with no kids. The National Center for Health Statistics found more single-parent women than men had trouble staying asleep and did not feel well rested. Researchers say that better sleep needs to be a priority for people no matter how busy they are. Well, you know why that is.
Go on.
When a kid wakes up in the middle of the night, who do you want? Mom. Dad snoring, sleeping soundly. Mom.
Especially when they're breastfeeding. I just looked at my wife and said, I can't help you here.
I don't have those. I don't have the same equipment as you.
Jack, there you go. I'm going back to sleep.
So daddies are sleeping, mommies are awake.
All right, so if your New Year's resolution was to get in shape, those six-pack abs may be a six-pack of beer away.
Okay, so it won't be that easy, but beer or any alcoholic beverage turns out to be a pretty good motivator. So doctors are still figuring out exactly what the connection is, but they say moderate drinkers work out more than those who abstain from alcohol, period. Some personal trainers are even teaming up with breweries for exercise classes with some social drinking afterwards. They say that extra time to hang out with peers will be good for those trying to reach fitness goals. They'll encourage each other to keep it up instead of everybody immediately going home after class. Well, you remember when I was working out with the trainer, Claude, last year, he had a workout on the yacht, the Ben Franklin yacht over there.
Well, that's
and then
sexy.
afterwards, it was like mimosas and breakfast on the yacht.
Right.
So he was ahead of the study.
So you burned 700 calories and consumed 1,000. Right?
But you're still being social.
Yeah,
that
that's
helps
true.
for something, right?
Did you ever give him a nickname? Did you ever call him Claude the Bod?
I called him Claude the Fraud because he used to come up with all these workouts. I'm like, you're a fraud. Hey, Janet Jackson, she's fighting back after rumors the singer may have cancer.
Thomas Jackson is shutting down that story straight from her lips. Good morning. At 5:30, authorities releasing new information about the man shot and killed by police.
Plus, it's the hottest item on the streets since the iPhone. What police say the perps were after and why parents, you have to be concerned. Good day, everybody. It's Thursday, January 7th, 2016.
Losers!
That's what
We're
we
all
are.
losers. There's our losing ticket. There's our $10
I know.
down the drain.
Mine's on the counter in my kitchen.
Yeah.
I told my mom last night, hey, you know, I say, now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, my lottery ticket's on the counter, Mom.
That's funny. You know what we should do? We should cue up Danny's song by Loggins and Messina, Even Though We Ain't Coming, because it is Kenny Loggins' 68th birthday today, and how appropriate. Even though we ain't coming. Well, there we go.
Hey.
What a good producer we have in Candace Johnson. We're live there at the 7-Eleven where I was yesterday in Bridesburg. That gentleman was so helpful. He sold so many tickets yesterday.
And
When the
he's gonna
jackpot grew to
sell
$450 million. Now it's going to be over almost $700 million by Saturday's drawing. Woo!
Susario, how many tickets are you buying? Tell the truth. Yesterday was Chris's first christening into the lottery.
I don't know if I'm going to get there. I'll probably get one.
Okay.
Because
that's
you only
fair.
need one.
That's
to
all
win.
you need to win.
That's right. And we can just live on love, right, Chris? We don't need money.
Well, as George, John Paul George Ringo said, all you need is love.
All you need is love, yeah.
Oh, 2 Chainz too, by the way.
Yeah, 8 out of 10 in your weather by the numbers today. Here's Bust Up Buddy with a cold start. Now, he's not quite as bundled up as yesterday. You can actually see his smile. Temperatures are in the teens to the north of us, but in the 30s here in Philadelphia. So it's still below freezing, but it's not as cold as it is in Mount Pocono, 13 degrees, 15 Allentown, 30 Atlantic City, 32 in Wildwood. And it's all about the cloud cover. The line where the clouds begin is kind of in the middle of Bucks and Montgomery and Chester counties, and every place to the south of that is so cloudy that we're even seeing just a little color on radar, but we're not seeing actual precipitation. And I don't think we'll see a whole lot of sunshine today. Optimistically, we put the picture of the sun, but a lot of clouds with it. So 30 degrees in average throughout the morning in the city, 39 by lunch, and a 42-degree high temperature, just a tiny bit milder than yesterday. Sunset time, 4:52. So that's your Thursday forecast. What's going to happen over the weekend? We'll do our best and let you know in the 7-day forecast coming up. Hi, Bob.
Hey, Subi, good morning, everybody. 5:33. Come on, you ready? We're going to throw back 20 years ago today, the blizzard of 96. Look at this. You think it's cold? This is what we were digging out from 20 years ago when we got 30.7 inches on this date 20 years ago, one of the side streets there in Northeast Philadelphia. Not bad at all compared to that right now. 95 looking good out of Northeast Philadelphia. No problems as you head southbound into the city. Looking good for the gang from Royersford through Collegeville, passing the outlets, coming in toward KOP. We do have a water main break in Norristown at Powell and Freedley. South Jersey, kind of quiet, at least at the moment. And you know what Thursday means. We hit the road and go for breakfast. Today, we're going to Croydon, Bucks County, the old Croydon Cafe. Folks have been there for over 9 years, family-run business. They sponsor at least three of the youth baseball teams. So there's a lot of folks in and out. It's definitely a family neighborhood spot. We'll see you up there from 9 to 10 o'clock. Let the kids go to school a little late. Bring them on by. We'll put them on TV. We got a new schedule on the Patco high-speed line as well. No delays at the moment, and Mass Transit SEPTA says so far so good on the mass transit system there as well. Chris and Lauren, back over to you.
Bob Kelly, thank you. 5:34 the time, and authorities releasing new information about the man shot and killed by police Tuesday in Upper Darby. Police say officers were called to the Bishop Hill apartments around 6:30 after a man called 911 saying he was suicidal and armed with a knife.
That man has been identified as 54-year-old David Zallo. According to police, when 3 officers arrived, Zallo refused to drop a knife despite being tased. They say he lunged at them with that weapon. 2 officers opened fire, killing Zallo. Police say he had a history of mental illness.
He suffers from bipolar, post-traumatic stress. He's been hospitalized at least 5 times since 2004. And we have been to his residence numerous times.
Police say the wife of the victim took to Facebook after the shooting, showing support for police and adding her husband is now, quote, free of all the demons plaguing him.
Let's hope so.
Caught on camera, teens robbed at gunpoint by other teenagers, all over a hoverboard. It happened outside a rec center in West Philadelphia. Police say it's not the first time, probably won't be the last time, sadly. Robberies, even violent ones, are on the rise over these hoverboards. Police say, like the iPhones a few years ago, thieves will do whatever it takes to get their hands on the latest fad.
All right, a Radnor man arrested for child abuse is due in court this morning.
Authorities say he's worked closely with children for years now. Dave Kinchin live at the courthouse in Newtown Square with more details on this story. Hi, Dave.
Lauren, good morning to you. A very disturbing story that's developed here. Investigators tell us that the suspect will be in court later this morning on charges of sexually molesting a 13-year-old family member. Here's what we know from investigators on this case. Charles Robinson of Paoli is the man accused of this crime. Cops are not releasing the gender of the alleged victim to protect their identity. Police tell us the abuse started in 2010 and lasted 4 agonizing years. Now, investigators say the abuse happened at the Robinsons' house on Chamonix Road in Radnor, but they do not currently live there. They moved since this all happened, we're told. The victim finally went to Chester County Youth Services, which in turn contacted Radnor Township Police. Robinson, who was involved in adoption support services at a nearby church, was arrested New Year's Eve, which was his 60th birthday. Our Dawn Timoney spoke with the son of the suspect.
We're trying to track him down. I don't know if you want to make any kind of comment or...
No, that's not my thing to say. So.
Yeah, you don't want to say anything?
No.
I mean, not even about what kind of a guy he is? Good guy, bad guy, nothing?
He's a really good guy.
We're asking for the public's help to see if anyone else was victimized by Mr. Robinson. And the reason we're asking that is we know through investigation that Mr. Robinson had an affiliation with the Boy Scouts of America, as well as various youth groups where he was a coach, basketball coach, involved in a lot of programs. And also he was involved with the Church of the Savior Church, where he was involved in the adoption services with that church.
So this case will still potentially unravel for investigators. Meantime, Robinson was held on $1 million bail, and we are told a family member did post that bail. Again, he is expected in court around 8:30 at District Court for a prelim. Guys, back to you.
All right, Dave Kinchin, thank you so much for the update.
Okay, this is the rematch many people want to see. We're talking about Ronda Rousey versus Holly Holm. So when might this possibly happen? We'll take a look at that.
Oh.
This is Fox 29 Sports in 1 minute.
Good morning, I'm Howard Eskin. The Flyers got a gift yesterday. Another team took a player that the Flyers had been trying to trade for 2 years. It does allow the Flyers to make more trades with room under the salary cap. The Flyers finally traded Vinny LeCavalier. He made $4.5 million under his contract, which had 2 more years left after this season. However, he has told some people he's going to retire after this season. He was traded with Luke Shen to the Kings, where the GM Ron Hextall had worked previously under their GM. Shen makes $3.6 million. The Flyers do have to pay 50% of those salaries, but it opens up salary cap space to make some trades. Flyers get 23-year-old Jordan Wheel and a 3rd-round pick in the trade. And New Orleans head coach Sean Payton said he's staying with the New Orleans Saints, so he's off the coaching market. Ben McAdoo will interview with the Eagles today. And the Baseball Hall of Fame has 2 new members, one a local guy. That would be Mike Piazza. He had 427 home runs, 308 lifetime average. He was 62nd, picked in the 62nd round of the draft. Ken Griffey also in with 99% of the vote. That's sports in a minute. I'm Howard Eskin.
Holly Holm set to fight one more time before a promised rematch against Ronda Rousey.
Holm knocked out Rousey in the 2nd round, the biggest upset in UFC history. The UFC says that Holm is set to defend her title in an interim fight, but they don't know who her opponent will in fact be or when that might happen. Speaking of sports, by the way, look what came to the station.
Look at there.
My first edition of Golf Magazine, my Christmas gift from Lauren Don Johnson. So thank you. And look at that, Jordan Spieth, whose parents grew up right here in Pennsylvania.
So you'll think of me once a month.
I love this magazine.
And then you no longer have to steal them from the doctor's office.
No. Thank you.
Okay, Janet Jackson, fighting back. After rumors the singer may have had cancer, how Miss Jackson shutting down those rumors? We're going to hear the story straight from her lips. Nicolas Cage turns 52 today. He won the Academy Award for Best Actor in Leaving Las Vegas.
I love him in Moonstruck. I lost my hand. You have your hand. Did you know that before he became famous, he sold popcorn at a theater in Los Angeles after he dropped out of high school at 17 years of age? He's the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola, the famed director.
His real last name is Coppola.
Coppola, right?
But he changed it because he didn't want to ride on the coattails of his
Exactly.
famous family.
Good for him.
One of his first films, Valley Girl. Good film. Check that one out from the 80s.
Good trivia.
Yeah. Hey, a news anchor turned
TV host?
59 today. Her name's Katie Couric. You've heard of her?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a TV host.
She's also an author.
Cool.
New York Times best-selling author.
Well, there you go. Hi, Cesario. Good morning.
I have one of her books where she collected the best graduation advice, I think it was, ever given, you know, at different graduation speeches. So, yeah. Okay, well, anyway, trivia is done. Now we're talking about our current weather. We have a little bit of rain offshore of the Carolinas, but there is a cloud cover that's spreading northward from that system that's way down there, and it reaches about the middle of Bucks, Montgomery, and Chester counties. Any place south of there isn't as cold as it is to the north, and here we'll show it to you in just a second. We show you those current temperatures. As we look ahead, though, into the weekend, we start with Friday. And throughout the day, it looks like a mix of sun and clouds. The rain doesn't seem like it's going to roll in until late Friday night. So if you're going out Friday, you'll probably be dry. But then about 3, 4 in the morning, it looks like the rain rolls in. And then it stays cloudy all day Saturday with a possibility of a pop-up shower or two. But the rainier day looks like it's going to be Sunday. And this model only goes out to about 3 a.m. on Sunday. But it looks like some heavy rain is moving in then. So right now, we have 31 degrees in Philadelphia. But you move up to the Poconos and the Lehigh Valley, and it's in the teens. So that's the difference between where it's cloudy and where it isn't. 34 degrees in Wildwood, 33 in Dover, and winds are calm right now, so we don't need to talk about a wind chill, at least not today. So as we look back, we saw temperature taking a little bit of a roller coaster ride after Sunday's high of 50. We've been pretty chilly since then. 40 degrees yesterday, which seemed a little more reasonable. It wasn't very windy. It was okay if you were in the sunshine. So sun, but mostly cloudy for today with a high of 42, 45 tomorrow, and then the chance of a shower or two on Saturday. By Sunday, it's breezy, and there should be maybe an inch or two of rain falling on us on Sunday, and that's associated, I should say, with a cold front, which means it'll be a blast of cold air, and we are going to be shivering again by the middle of next week. Bob Kelly.
Shivering good morning, everybody. Grab your coffee and your keys. You're heading out the front door. Not bad at all. 5:47 on a Thursday. Here's a cool shot from the Ben Franklin Bridge Toll Plaza for the gang coming in from South Jersey, the Admiral Wilson Boulevard, 676 heading up to the Benny Tolls. We are good to go. Flashback 20 years ago. Remember when we had so much snow, the city dumped the snow in the Schuylkill River? There was no place to put it. 20 years ago today, the blizzard of 96. And then 9 months later, the baby boom of 1996.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You got to do something indoors.
Mom, why is that, Mom? Westchester looking good. No problems as you roll through Malvern. So we're off to a quiet but cold start this morning. Just remember, if you are going to warm the car up, make sure you don't leave it unattended. In Norristown, Powell and Freedley, watch for some local detours. In the neighborhood, Aramingo Avenue closed York to Delaware. So all that traffic pushed onto Richmond Street. That's a week-long project, so one more day to go there. And then coming in from South Jersey, looking good on 42 and 295. So far, so good. On mass transit, we're running with no reported delays.
From her lips, legendary singer Janet Jackson saying she does not have cancer. This following rumors about her health that circulated online when she announced she'd be canceling her tour dates because of an illness. She made the announcement on Twitter last night.
In the tweet, simply captioned, "From my lips," she shared lyrics to her new song, The Great Forever, with a message at the end. It said, "The rumors are untrue. I do not have cancer. I am recovering." She then said her doctors cleared her to tour in Europe, and the postponed shows will be, in fact, rescheduled.
So the cancer rumor started when word spread that Jackson needed to have a growth removed from her vocal cords. Jackson said she does need surgery, but she will not share any more details. So she was scheduled to be at the Wells Fargo Center in February.
Okay. Coming up next month.
Well, she said that now, because the Unbreakable tour has been postponed, she's not going to be able to make it, but she's going to reschedule. So she says, keep your tickets. It's going to be even bigger and better than what she planned.
So that tour was breakable. Just It's a joke. It's stupid. She looks great, by the way. She looks fantastic.
She does.
You okay? Are you
I've had
fighting a
this-
cold?
No. A lingering cough for about 2 weeks now.
Okay.
Someone left germs at my desk. The first award show of the season,
By the way,
People's
she
Choice
hates
Awards.
when the interns sit at her desk. She comes there and says, "Who sat here? And this wasn't there. And this blanket's a mess." A little behind the scenes. All right, the
I'll
People's
show
Choice
you
Awards.
a picture from my desk. The People's Choice Awards aired last night. It's the show where fans have the fate of the stars in their hands. Last night's winners include Furious 7 for favorite movie. Star Vin Diesel gave an emotional speech about his friend and co-star Paul Walker while accepting the honor. He even sang "See You Again" for the late actor who died last year in a car crash. And check out this great moment when Jane Lynch pretended to hand out a special People's Choice Award to actor Thomas Lennon.
Wow, this is amazing. My high school principal said, "You'll never amount to anything." And I said, "Mom, you're the worst principal this high school ever had."
Okay, I'm sorry.
And
Hold on just a second.
it
Listen,
means
I'm sorry.
so-
I have to apologize here. First runner-up is Tom Lennon. So sorry, man. The winner.
He's just never going to live this down, right?
I know.
Oh, my goodness. That said, though, check this out. There she is, Miss Runner-Up, Miss Debacle, Miss Colombia.
Miss Colombia.
She should have won. Miss Philippines is gorgeous, but dang.
Okay, let's talk Idol. The journey has started for one last time. We have a look back at the fun moments from last night's episode.
Up next month.
Well, she said that now, because the Unbreakable tour has been postponed, she's not going to be able to make it, but she's going to reschedule. So she says, keep your tickets. It's going to be even bigger and better than what she planned.
So that tour was breakable. Just, it's a joke. It's stupid. She looks great, by the way. She looks fantastic.
She does.
You okay? Are you
I've had
fighting a
this-
cold?
No. A lingering cough for about 2 weeks now.
Okay.
Someone left germs at my desk. The first award show of the season,
By the way,
People's
she
Choice
hates
Awards.
when the interns sit at her desk. She comes there and says, "Who sat here? And this wasn't there. And this blanket's a mess." A little behind the scenes. All right, the
I'll
People's
show
Choice
you
Awards.
a picture from my desk. The People's Choice Awards aired last night. It's the show where fans have the fate of the stars in their hands. Last night's winners include Furious 7 for favorite movie. Star Vin Diesel gave an emotional speech about his friend and co-star Paul Walker while accepting the honor. He even sang "See You Again" for the late actor who died last year in a car crash. And check out this great moment when Jane Lynch pretended to hand out a special People's Choice Award to actor Thomas Lennon.
Wow, this is amazing. My high school principal said, "You'll never amount to anything." And I said, "Mom, you're the worst principal this high school ever had."
Okay, I'm sorry.
And
Hold on just a second.
it
Listen,
means
I'm sorry.
so-
I have to apologize here. First runner-up is Tom Lennon. So sorry, man. The winner.
He's just never going to live this down, right?
I know.
Oh, my goodness. That said, though, check this out. There she is, Miss Runner-Up, Miss Debacle, Miss Colombia.
Miss Colombia.
She should have won. Miss Philippines is gorgeous, but dang.
Okay, let's talk Idol. The journey has started for one last time. We have a look back at the fun moments from last night's episode.
Yes, it's a national addiction hard to give up as the pop icon cultural phenomenon American Idol comes to an end this year. Idol finishes a marvelous 15-year run of finding talent and sometimes pushing the non-talent to the curb, as Simon Cowell often did. Fox's Michelle Polino has a recap of Wednesday night's episode.
In the first episode of American Idol's final season, Judge Jennifer Lopez was feeling optimistic about the singers lining up to audition for the show.
Yes. Who knows if that idol walks through the door today? That's always a possibility, and that's what's so exciting about doing this job.
Why can't you be blue over me?
The auditions brought out a wide range of singers, including several 15-year-olds, some unlikely talent, and even someone playing a cello.
Just like this.
There was also a cop who handcuffed Harry, a few Keith Urban superfans, and superstar rapper Kanye West.
You're familiar. Are you Ruben Studdard?
I am Ruben Studdard.
Former Idol winners and finalists helped with the early auditions and offered plenty of encouragement.
We got tired of sitting in the chair, so we're just stretching out.
And the judges tried to mix things up while watching auditions, but in the end, it was all about finding raw talent.
We're constantly shocked when people come in, particularly when they talk, and they come in and present themselves, and they can be quite sort of meek and mild and and then they just sing, and they just have this huge personality, huge voice.
Being an artist is really about expression, self-expression, staying true to yourself, evolving, and not trying to be something you were or trying to be somebody else or trying to be something different.
I've never been so sure of anything before.
In Hollywood, Michelle Polino, Fox News.
And at 5:56, it's the arrest sending shockwaves through Delaware County. What a Radnor man working closely with kids will be in court for this morning.